one doctor, in this case was Dr. Rigoberto Perez, that he prepared all the canals and he obturated all the canals with the specific techniques, specific files, prepared, clean and shape. And sample 51 was sample 1, so he was calibrated. He had to be familiar with the technique. And also, very important, without getting into any legal situations, since I was the associate dean at the University at Nova in charge of all the postgraduate programs, I have established that no program, no student, no program director will ask for materials to a company for many reasons that I don't want to take the time to explain. But what we will do, we will buy all these materials all around the United States, and we will pay regular price, no student pricing. It's the price that any doctor will pay. And the reason is because when you see this block of what it says invoice to and ship to, those doctors around the country will buy those things for us. The university will reimburse. So the barcode or these invoices tells the company who was the doctor who purchased it, what was the price, the serial number, and the lot number of the products. Okay, so we didn't want them to come up with, as they have done in my endodontic life, in my research life, that the material that we just sent you, we realized they had a manufacturing defect and they would ruin the life of students. These were materials already in the market and we purchased all around the United States. So we have 38 samples, 76 canals, which are mesial roots of lower molars because they have to have most of them the same degree of curvature and the same radius of the curvature, and they have to have 2 canals, 2 orifices, 2 apices, and 4 were for control samples, 2 positives and 2 negatives. In total was 84. So these were the samples, and many of you probably you haven't seen these plastic cans. This is where the film, before digital x-rays, we used to buy the film for our cameras, and I treasure the last 100 of these canisters that I have because I cannot get them anymore. So for research is very, very good. But these were the teeth, and then elimination in the majority of them of the distal root. So we will eliminate the distal root. Most of them were straight, and the reason is that we didn't want to superimpose in the images with the micro CT. Preparative x-rays, buccolingual and mesiodistal of that particular tooth. Photographs, buccolingual, mesiodistal of the same samples. It was very well recorded. No distraction. Everything is very, very well documented in our research studies. Endodontic access opening, and we will do those access openings according to guidelines of access. And at this time, I don't want to take time on discuss what is a straight line access or a good access or not, at any rate. But for example, if we had a tooth like this, and I want you to look at the image, this will be the access that we need to obtain. Now, what's wrong with this image? Is something wrong? Yes, because this tooth is a virgin tooth. We don't do root canals on virgin teeth, okay? So what most of the samples, what we have were this type of teeth. So once we have removed all the decay, all the enamel without support, before we initiate root canal therapy, and it's exactly the same what we have to do on patients, we will build them up. Now I have a chamber that has 4 walls that can contain all my irrigants to do that root canal therapy. So after that, we will establish the working length with a number 10 file, and then we'll observe that through the microscope, as you can see on the right image. And then we will confirm that with an X-ray. We will measure the canals, buccolingual and mesiodistal, and in one of the canals, in this case, was the lingual canal, that we will put a headstrong file just to differentiate the buccal canal from the lingual canal. That's the only purpose of that. Then the sample teeth were divided in 3 groups: the cold obturation, warm obturation, and carrier-based obturation systems. So here we have divided the 3, and my 4 teeth that there were 2 positive and 2 negative control groups. Okay, the group were soon divided again according to the degrees of the curvature and the radius. We cannot compare different techniques if one technique will have a 37-degree curvature and the other one will have 11-degree curvature. So most of the teeth had to be almost the same curvature. So here are the subdivision. You can see here that the mesial buccal canal in this one is 24.3 degrees and the lingual canal is 22.5. So it's really not that much difference. This is a very good group. This is a very good tooth to study. The sample teeth were again prepared according to the instruments that the manufacturer will have a filling material. In other words, if I will prepare with sequence files, which are from Brasler, and the K3s from Cybronendo at that time, now it's Care Cable, I will have to fill the canals with active GP and real seal, or that time Resilon. So we divided. I have to tell you that there is one group of filling material which is called softcore that manufacturer does not have file. They don't produce file. So we documented through emails our correspondence, and we asked them, this is the research that we're doing. What type of files do you want us to use with that particular core obturator material? And they said profile, and that's what we did. Then after the canals were prepared, we irrigate them as a final irrigation with our EDTA for 1 minute on each canal to eliminate the smear layer. The sample teeth were obturated again according to the manufacturer's materials and follow manufacturer's instructions, DFUs, directions for use. So if I prepare with GTX file and profile, I will obturate with GTX obturated, which is thermophil, and also thermophil exactly to match the file that we have used. A cotton pellet was placed on the plug chamber, so then at least 5 millimeters of cavity, and then we will have the cement set in 100% humidity for 24 hours. Here is the canister, here is the sample tooth that is ready to be studied for 24 hours. To allow the cement and the Obturation inside the canal to set. Then the sample teeth were scanned with the micro CT, as I'll show you in the beginning. And then the data analysis was done with VG Studio Max. This is the software. And this was the statistical analysis to see the difference between coronal, middle, and apical portions.